Hi friends, it's Carrie Vaca here today with you. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about how to navigate feeling discouraged. When you are in this stage 4 cancer or any cancer diagnosis, I think we've all experienced feeling discouraged. Nicole, one of my subscribers, has asked me to share about how I navigate feeling discouraged. She was sharing how she had been at the doctor and was feeling very discouraged. So I think this is something really common for a lot of us, especially people who are maybe choosing alternative with our Western, complementary medicine with our Western medicine, that when we have to navigate going into hospitals and dealing with Western medicine doctors, that sometimes they don't have the best bedside manner and they can say things that I don't think they're doing it on purpose, but I think can really discourage us. So I had a lot of that. I'm on my third oncologist. Third one is the charm. And that's kind of my first tip. So when I was reading Nicole's experience, it was the words that this doctor was saying and the way he was saying it. It's like, you can't do surgery, you've got to do this chemo. And, even though she'd had shrinking and felt good, there was something about his words and what he was saying that didn't feel so good, and it really put her into a space that didn't feel so good. And I can resonate with that very much. My first oncologist I had just for the original diagnosis, and she told me, basically most people live 2.5 to 3 years. We don't expect shrinking. You should probably get on disability. This is literally as she's giving me my diagnosis. And she didn't just say it in this way, but like over an hour's time, she's talking to me about getting on disability. And I'm like, well, what's going to be wrong? Am I going to be sick? I feel pretty good right now. She's like, well, you just probably want to live your life. And, so that was an instant. I didn't get discouraged from her. I just knew she wasn't a good match. So then I got with a second oncologist at UCSF, and I felt really discouraged pretty much every time I saw her. And so what would happen was I would go there and I would have all this excitement about these complementary things that I was doing and how good I was doing. And I was having all this tumor shrinking. And she, I would say things like, oh, well, my canvas is shrinking the tumors. And she would say, well, you don't know what's shrinking your tumors. You don't know that it's working. And I was like, well, actually I do, because it was shrinking my tumors before I started Western medicine. So it was still hard though. I would go home, I would go into these, usually every time I would go see my oncologist, which she wanted to see me every 6 weeks, was the only time I'd feel discouraged. Then I would get home and I would start second guessing, and I would start feeling really scared. I would go down that rabbit hole. And I just know, I knew after a few days would pass and I would come back out and I was like, wait a second, I feel great. Why am I letting this happen? Why am I letting her words affect me in that way? And that's when I started setting boundaries with her. And I think it's important for us in a doctor situation to let our doctors know what's okay and what's not okay. And this is a big part of healing, is us taking a stand and letting them know, you're not up here and I'm down here. We're equals because we're both working on this together. A doctor knows a lot in certain ways, but in certain areas, they know a ton. I don't know, these medications that she wants to give me. I don't know anything about them. But she does not research cannabis. She does not research about the supplements I'm taking. She doesn't research on how dance and visualization and positive thinking and having a community that supports you. She's not doing studies on that. She's doing studies on drugs and what they do to the symptoms of cancer. So I think it's very important to set boundaries with your doctor. And if you find yourself that you're, after every visit, you're going home and going into this depression and feeling really discouraged, and you're not feeling like you guys are on the same page, I'm gonna say find a new doctor. Like, no joke. If you are finding that you are being discouraged every time you go to the oncologist, I would ask you to question, why do I keep going back to this oncologist? Some of you may be stuck with only one, like maybe you're in a town that there's only one oncologist, or your insurance only covers one. If that's the case, then I'm going to ask you to think about setting boundaries, letting your doctor know how it's affecting you. Hey, I would only like you to talk about things if I'm at that place, or I would like you to be softer with the way that you say these things, like not putting nevers and you'll never do this, or, you know, putting fear. I'm feeling fearful. And so you could share and be vulnerable. Hey, this is how I'm feeling. Also, I talked about in another video is just like letting yourself go into those places. It's okay to have a pity party for yourself every once in a while. It's okay to be discouraged, and for me, if I let myself know, I'm feeling discouraged right now, and I'm going to sit in these feelings of feeling discouraged, and maybe put a timer on it. I'm going to feel discouraged for the next 5 minutes, or I'm going to feel discouraged for the next half hour. And then what can I do to not feel discouraged? Can I focus on the things? That's a place I find that I forget to go to, but then I find it so helpful, is reminding myself, wait a second, Carrie, you have had a stage 4 cancer, I call it, past, because I'm tumor free. You've cleared these tumors. You cleared them a year and a half ago, at least at this point. You were having shrinking before you started Western medicine. Why are you going to let this doctor tell you something different? I'm not going to do that. The last time I saw my second oncologist, she started talking about, are you having MRIs? Because if you're not, you should, because if you get a breast tumor, we want to catch it in time so we can do radiation. She's had me spinning for 2 days that I might have breast cancer, like another breast tumor, when I haven't had a breast tumor in 4 years, that she would do radiation, which I already told her I didn't want to do. So I'm like, why is she talking about this? And why am I going into her fear? That's not for me. So after 2 days of freaking out, and I literally was like, I should just give up. I should just give up. Like, I'm never going to beat this. This is crazy. And then I'm remembering, that's funny, Carrie, because you have no tumors. Why am I going to let this lady discourage me? So reminding yourself, I think it's good to, you could keep a note, like, or even a gratitude journal, and just pull that out. If you pull out a gratitude journal from any time and just pull any page and be like, oh yeah, these are the things I'm grateful for. Remembering, how far have you come? What are the odds that you've already beat? What do you know? When have you been strong? And, you know, when have you overcome something? Reminding yourself of the strength that you have, I think, is a good way to help yourself not be discouraged. Calling a friend that knows, you know, that somebody that knows you really well and can remind you of your accomplishments, I think is good. Family members or a best friend. I do really believe if you are getting discouraged every time you go to your doctor, I'm going to say, please look at finding a new one. My new doctor, we've been together quite a while now, maybe, I don't even know, maybe not a year yet, but it's been long enough that I've seen her enough times to know that every time I go out of her office, when I leave, I feel elated. I feel excited when I get to see her. Now I'm excited. I used to dread having to go. She's just pushed my appointments out to 3 months, whereas most other cancer patients are being seen every 6 weeks, 8 weeks out of max. She pushed me out to 3 months, and she's like, I trust you. She trusts me that if I'm feeling something that doesn't feel right, that I'm going to go in and see her. She knows how in tune I am with my body. So it's a whole new dynamic. So I know we can get discouraged from other places. I feel like if you make sure that you're in, like I'm in one Facebook group about cancer, and it's super positive. Everybody is if I'm down, people are going to lift me up. So make sure that you're not surrounding yourself with a lot of negativity or a lot of, some of the cancer support groups are really, not that they're negative, but there's different energies. I've been in a few and felt them. And so make sure that you're in a place that's actually lifting you up and maybe not instilling more fear and scaring you. Just remembering how far you've come, and let yourself feel sad for a little bit and then keep going, and just remind yourself, like, I'm in this to win. I'm in this to heal. If you can put on some calming music, on YouTube, all of the different frequency sounds that can really help calm you, I think is a really good thing. Taking some time to draw, to color, to meditate, to do some mindfulness, do some deep breathing, and just let the feelings, notice what you're feeling in your body. I'm feeling discouraged. Why am I feeling discouraged? Is this a real reason to feel discouraged? Is it going to pass? Can I take in this information? Maybe you hear something that feels really horrible, like, oh gosh, your tumors didn't shrink, or you got another tumor. Okay, I'm going to feel discouraged for a minute, and then what am I going to do? Have I done everything that I can do? I'm guessing no, because for me, I know that I'm saving things that I haven't tried yet for if cancer came back to me. Then I'm like, oh, I'm going to try something else. And just really listening to our intuition. So I hope this helps. I hope that you can remember in a time of feeling discouraged that you're going to get through it, and it's going to pass. And I hope that these tips help you. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. All of these things help my videos get seen by more people. I'm really committed to making these and making a difference. Please drop some of your tips on how you navigate feeling discouraged. And if you have any things that you want me to talk about and hear more about, my son's in the back building a deck. It's very exciting. I don't know if you can hear that. Please, leave it in the comments if you have topics that you want me to talk about. So I am wishing you all a beautiful and relaxed and easeful time during this uncertain time of this coronavirus. And just please be safe, stay in, wash those hands. And until next time, know that I really appreciate, I'm getting such good feedback, and it's encouraging me to keep sharing. I have a lot I want to share. So thank you so much, and wishing you all well.